Okay, I do want to say bookmark this link because this is the link for all calls, classes, webinar, or this class that we have. So we're going to pick up where the webinar left off because I didn't know the sound wasn't coming in correctly. So to do this, we're basically going to do mini visualizations for first the rising sign, then your moon sign, then Mercury, then Mars, then Venus. So there are 5 mini visualizations, meditations, and the point is to really connect in with the energy, like really feel it. I'm also tying in each one of the planets to a specific chakra as well. I think that can sort of help to anchor the energy in the body. And I'm going to be doing more of these like somatic connections to the energies. I feel like sometimes astrology, I mean, it's cosmic, but it could feel abstract because it's not like we're close to the planet, or I feel like, it's just something that can feel like really out there. So the idea is to not feel it out there, but feel it in here. And with that feeling, understand it, like really get it. Like, okay, get like my rising, I get my Mars placement, and then that way leverage it and understand then. And then we'll do this again. I think the next one that we'll do for these somatic experiences, visualizations, will be through aspects, like to get what, because I feel like that's also a little confusing, or it can be. I feel like that's the last layer of one of the last layers of understanding astrology after getting the sign and the planet and like maybe the element is the aspects, like what are they doing with each other. So let me see if I can highlight myself here. Okay, so I'm gonna put actually, before I start, and this way I'll just give Jessica a few minutes and whoever else is going to join. Question for you. Do you have written out your rising, moon, Mercury, Mars, and Venus?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And I'm curious to, how connected do you feel? Here's Jess. How connected do you feel to the placements of each of those?
Very connected.
Hey, Jess, I'm just going to mute you. Okay, cool. Wonderful. I love hearing that. I feel like you have a pretty intuitive grasp of astrology, Corey, so that's good. But for anybody else, when you're going to watch this on the replay, you want to come into this knowing it's okay if your video is showing, but you want to come into this knowing those 5 placements, your rising, your moon, Mercury, Mars, and Venus. And then just like do a little check-in with yourself. How connected do I feel to the placements of each one of those parts of my chart? And is there one where I really is the hardest for me, maybe either because of the sign or the planet? And just do like a little check-in. And after you do the visualizations, do another check-in and just see, how has this shifted my ability to really connect in and understand the energy of these placements and how I now better understand myself. Okay, so let's go for it. It's okay. We don't need, it's okay if your video isn't working, Jess, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to so I'm using binaural beats, and this one is an intuition binaural beats, and I'll also drop it in the platform so that you have it if you want to use it. Just let me know.
Right off the top, domestic violence is
that's not it.
Never okay.
Stop. Okay, pressed on the wrong thing. One moment. This is it. How is the sound?
Good. I could hear it.
Okay, sometimes I don't know if it's like coming in, distorted or clear. Good, good so far. Okay. Okay, Jess, I see that you put in that Mercury in Cancer is the hardest for you. All right, so let's see what happens after this. So get comfy. I'm going to close my window just so we don't have any interference out here. All right, so you're going to get comfy and just feel your feet on the ground. And once you feel centered and grounded, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to just deepen your breath and exhale all the air through your mouth. And just begin to empty your mind, to invite the mind to be present with your breath, with your body. And with the exhale, just let your body relax. And I want you to project yourself out into the cosmos as a heavenly body, as a star. And you are a star. You are made up of stardust. And so just connect in as you breathe in and breathe out. Just really feeling that there's this pulsation of energy, a vibration that you are emanating as a star. And I want you to imagine that the sun is shining on your crown chakra, right at the top of your head, and you just start to feel a warmth, almost like an illumination, an emanation of energy from your crown chakra. Inhaling, exhaling, breathe in this vibration, this frequency. And this is the energy of your rising sign. You're going to imagine that your rising sign emanation frequency literally lights you up when you walk into any space, when you walk into any room, that it is the color of your aura. It lights up your aura. And it's influenced by the sign of the constellation that was rising on the east when the sun rose the day of your birth. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, feeling that warmth of light at the crown of your head, and feeling and sensing that this is how others perceive you. And that the more you mature, the more you begin to embody this energy of your rising sign. And you can feel it as a vibration that vibrates out from you, that attracts others to you. Inhale and exhale. Feel the energy of a spotlight. And maybe there's a specific color to this light. This is the energy of your rising sign. How others experience you and feel your presence. Breathing this in and exhaling. Just making any mental note of any sensation in the body, any feeling, any image that might have come, or even sounds that came through as you connected with the rising sign energy. And just take one last deep breath in, sending those little mental notes to all of the cells of your body so that you have cellular memory of your rising sign and the embodiment of this energy. And on the next exhale, you're going to start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and maybe rotating your head, your neck, shoulders, and just beginning to bring yourself back into the space. And if you want to write down a little note, you can do that. What you connected with as we anchored in the rising sign energy through the crown chakra. Breathing in and breathing out. And just taking another 30 seconds. And if you want to draw something, you can draw something too. Maybe taking note if there was a color that you saw. And we're going to now move into the moon sign. So once again, feel your feet on the ground and just checking in. Is the sound good? Can you hear me okay in combo with the music? Okay. Okay. So let's get started on the moon sign. Feet on the ground. Once again, just let your hands rest on your lap. You're going to go ahead and close your eyes and connect in with your breath. And as you breathe in, I want you this time to feel the expansion in your heart space as you fill your lungs with oxygen, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, expanding your lungs, expanding your heart, and breathing out. And I want you to imagine that you're surrounded by a nighttime sky and it's filled with stars and the moon is full on this night. And as you breathe in, just begin to feel that illumination of the moon's light. Maybe imagining that you're standing underneath the moonlight and it makes your skin glow. And breathe that coolness of the moonlight on your skin in. And as you exhale, imagine that you're bringing your vision inwards and that you start to see your inner landscape as if it were the earth. And you start to focus in on the waters of your inner landscape. Maybe imagining an ocean and the moonlight dancing on the ocean waters. And as you continue traveling through your body, just imagining other bodies of water, waterfalls, rivers, lakes. Breathing in and breathing out, connecting to all the waters of your being. And just notice, how do your waters move? How do you connect to this movement? How is the flow of the waters established within you? And as you take the next inhale, connect with your heart chakra, attuning to the energy of your moon sign. How does it guide your emotions? What does it teach you about the way that you process feelings and emotions in your emotional body. And ask yourself this: what only occurs in the dim light of the night when the moon is present, your most private inner self, and connecting in with the intelligence of your heart so that you can feel not only with your feelings, but also with all of the cells of your body, the way that your inner waters move. Breathing in and breathing out. Once again, imagining all of the waters of your inner landscape, connecting with moonlight, illuminating these waters, connecting in with the way that the waters move, with the way that they flow. What do they show you? And so once again, taking a long deep breath in and exhaling, imagining that you're sending that energy of your moon sign through your heart chakra out into your arms, down your torso, down your legs, and up through your throat, your head, third eye, and crown, so that you seal the energetic imprint of your moon sign in your body cells. And on the next exhale, beginning to bring movement into the toes, into the fingers, into the neck, rotating the shoulders, and slowly beginning to open the eyes, taking a look around, grabbing your paper, taking a few seconds to write out: what did your moon sign show you? How did your heart chakra guide you to understand your moon sign better? Inhaling and exhaling. Thirty more seconds. And beginning to bring that to a close, knowing that you can always come back to redoing these meditations. And as we move forward to Mercury, also giving you the clue that you can tap into the element of the sign to really feel and drop into and understand and know how it moves that planet, the interplanetary action within you. And then if you feel lost, you could also start by just connecting to that energy and then connecting to the planet and its characteristics. So once again, feeling feet on the ground, moving the toes, and then just letting them land, really feeling grounded and centered. And with hands on your lap, just closing the eyes, taking long, deep breaths. And as you breathe in, just imagine that you can feel the oxygen move through your throat chakra as it makes its way into the lungs and into your belly. And that with every inhale, you begin to soften your forehead. And it almost feels like your forehead is breathing for you as well. That oxygen is coming in through the third eye. And it makes its way down into the throat, connects in with this energy between the third eye and the throat chakra. As we connect into the energy of Mercury, connecting in with your ability to think, the energy of your brain, of what you focus on, of what you can see and perceive via the eyes, but through the brain, the way that you understand the world, the way that you communicate, the way that you express. And just connecting in with this process of thought turning into sound, thought becoming the vibration of sound as you speak, and the way that thoughts are given form. And as you breathe in, focusing on your brain, just imagine that you're breathing to the back of your head. And then as you inhale, that oxygen travels from the bottom of the brain down your spine. And as you exhale, just imagining this oxygen making its way all the way down through your spinal column, activating your nervous system, communicating with all of the cells in your body. And I want you to connect in with the sign of your Mercury placement. This is how your body literally communicates thought into form, thought into words. Inhaling and exhaling, imagining that oxygen as it makes its way from the brain down through the neck, down through the spine, through all of the nerves in the body. That this is the way you process information via the energy of your Mercury sign. Connecting in with the element that rules that sign, connecting in with its characteristics. Does it move slow like Earth? Is your thinking process steady and slow and logical? Does it move deeply, intuitively, the way water flows? Does your communication style burst quickly like fire, spreads passionately? Or maybe it's just quick and everywhere, the way air is everywhere. Inhaling and exhaling, once again connecting in with this bridge between the third eye and the throat, energy of Mercury. And with the next couple of inhales, just letting that somatic wisdom be sealed by all of the muscles, all of the tissue, and especially the spine. On the next exhale, you're going to let that go. Start to bring movement back into your toes, into your fingers, into your head. And slowly beginning to open your eyes, take a look around. And you're going to go ahead and grab your paper and just write down what you noticed about Mercury. Later, I would love to hear, Jess, if that helped bring a little more clarity about understanding your Mercury placement. Not right this second, but in a moment. Because we're going to finish Mars and Venus, and then we'll open up. But just jot anything down that supported you to really understand your Mercury placement. Okay, so we're going to start moving into Mars. Once again, feel your feet on the ground. Feel centered. Hands on the thighs. Go ahead and close your eyes. Taking long, deep breaths. And this time, really imagine that you're sending that breath into your stomach. Feel that your belly expands each time that you inhale. It deflates as you exhale. And also feel your whole body open up as you breathe in. Expanding as you inhale. And contracting in as you exhale. Sending the oxygen to your belly, to your solar plexus, the center for Mars. Breathing in, connecting into the sign of your Mars placement, anchoring it in your belly. The center of your self-authority, your confidence, your motivation, the way that you literally digest life, process life, and take action. The way that you take your energy and let it radiate out into the world. This energy of your solar plexus, where your inner fire is anchored via your digestion. Inhaling and exhaling. Connecting in with the element that rules the sign of your Mars placement. As you continue to expand your breath in your belly, breathing in, also opening up your chest, exhaling, relaxing. It's beginning to feel this rhythm of movement in your body, connecting in with what is the main quality of your Mars placement via the element, via the sign. Knowing that Mars is how you digest, how you process, how you walk through life, how you move, how you activate, how you create, how you create forward momentum. Is it slow and steady, slow and steady pace? Maybe it's an earth element sign. Or is it excited and energetic and quick, passionate? Maybe it's a fire sign. Or maybe it's very intuitive, very sensing, very feeling. If it's a water sign, or maybe it's quick and visionary and expansive and full of ideas and inspiration. If it's an air sign, How do you move? How do you walk? How do you embody your Mars sign? Inhaling, really imagining your solar plexus, that inner sun, the rays of your inner sun expanding out from you. Exhaling. Inhaling, once again, anchoring that sign of your Mars energy, sending it out through each ray of your internal sun out into the world. How do you process life? And you can even check in with how you digest, what your digestion is like. That can also guide you into understanding better how you might be able to make some changes in the way that you take actions, in the way that you move forward, the way that you move through life. Inhale and exhale. Connecting in with this energy of your solar plexus, allowing those solar rays to expand out into all of the parts of your body, making a physical record, memory of what this Mars energy is and how it moves within you. And on the next exhale, just beginning to bring yourself back, moving your fingers, moving your toes, moving your neck, moving your shoulders. And slowly beginning to open your eyes, taking a look around, grabbing your pen, writing down a note, something that came through. Inhale and exhale. Writing down a few notes, 20 more seconds. Okay, so we're going to be dropping into Venus. This is our last visualization, planetary energy activation. That's what I'm going to call these. So let's get started on Venus. Once again, feeling feet on the ground, hands on the lap, rotating the shoulders back, letting the eyes close, taking a long, deep breath in. Exhale. And on the next inhale, I want you to imagine that you're actually breathing in through your feet, through the energy of your root chakra, which includes your legs, and that you're sending that oxygen into your root and into your sacral, into your first and second chakras as you're breathing in. The energy of the earth, the energy of the material plane, connecting in with Venus, which rules over the material, rules over our finances, our values. And so breathing in, imagining that oxygen is coming in through the palms of your feet, traveling up your legs, and landing right at your first and second chakra. Inhale and exhale begins to start to feel that this energy that's holding you is your own connection to the earth, to the material plane. And I want you to visualize that your body once again is the landscape of earth within you. This time I want you to focus in on the geography, your internal geography of the mountains and plains and deserts, all of the lands of the earth within you. Connecting in with volcanoes, connecting in with the energy of lava, moving, flowing from deep within the earth, deep in the core that flows outward. And I want you to start to connect in with that sign of your Venus placement. And allow it to guide your attention. What sort of landscape do you imagine that you connect with, that maybe is your favorite type of landscape? Connecting in with your attention to nature. And just start to visualize yourself surrounded by that kind of geography. Just allowing the energy of your Venus placement to allow you to focus your attention on what you love and where you love to be. Maybe it's mountains or ocean. Maybe it's both. Just letting yourself connect in with what you see, whether it's grass or flowers or birds, animals, just connecting in with all that you love in nature. Breathing in and breathing out, feeling that you're breathing through your feet, up your legs, and that this energy is anchoring in your first and second chakra, that you can connect in with the sense of sight, smell, touch. As you breathe in, just taking in the inner geography, noticing all that you love in nature. Inhaling and exhaling. I want you to ask yourself, how does this relate to what you value? What is important to you and what you desire to experience? How does this relate to what you value, to what is important to you, what you desire to experience? Connecting with that energy of your Venus sign. How does it show you what is truly important to you and what you value? Inhaling and exhaling, once again feeling warmth of energy in your first and second chakra. And really feeling that this energy is grounding you and centering you, allowing you to feel connected to the earth, to this realm, this physical realm. And as you inhale and exhale, just really allow that energy to stabilize in your legs and in your first and second chakra. I'm just taking a few last deep breaths, maybe just looking around once again at your inner geography, the spaces that you love being around, surrounded by. Connecting in, exhaling, and beginning to let that go, slowly bringing movement back into your fingers, into your toes, maybe rotating the wrists, rotating the ankles, rotating the neck in one direction, then in the other, rotating the shoulders, and just giving your body any kind of movement and stretching. Just beginning to open your eyes, bringing yourself back. You're going to grab your paper, And you're going to just jot down anything about this experience with Venus. And staying connected to your breath. Just taking 30 more seconds, and then we're going to get into it. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Okay, so I want to hear how that was for you. Was this helpful? Did it help you to connect even more? Did you identify something that maybe you hadn't before?
This was fabulous. Wow.
Yes, I realized a lot about myself that I didn't know before. Wow.
Okay.
And I realized how much I've overcome. I've overcome so much. And I'm like, holy crap, I was here and now I'm here. I'm kind of reflecting as I'm going because I'm realizing why I was the way I was for so many years and what was holding me back. But now I'm realizing by stepping into embodying these, you know, part of us, these planets and stuff, is bringing us to our highest self. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, because Corey, what did you want to say? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you know, I was just going to say this. This was like the best meditation. It's your own energy connecting in, and oh my God, so much peace and tranquility and understanding. I love it.
Yay, cool. Well, maybe I'll see if I could maybe I would love to make them individual, like individual for all of the planets. I think it would be helpful also to have Jupiter and Saturn. I just wanted to focus in on the personal planets first. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to think about doing because then it would be nice to just be able to, like, if you're like having an issue with like, maybe not feeling like you're not thinking clearly, that maybe you can connect into the Mercury meditation. Jess, you're saying Pluto, yeah, and Chiron. I mean, ultimately all of them, right? First the personal, then Jupiter, the outer two, Jupiter and Saturn, and then the last planets, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, and then Chiron as an asteroid. But yeah, I'd like to do that. I'm glad that you like this. I was just thinking of how can you really connect in, and just what you said about noticing how you've changed, and when you can connect in with the energy, how that just feels, what was the word that you used?
I don't even know. I just feel so like I'm stepping into the highest version of myself. But this helped me, like, it really helped me understand, like, kind of where I was and where I am now and where I'm headed, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think that's what you said that I wanted to reiterate was the highest self, because remember that the soul chose, it's almost like, I see this as time travel in a way, like being born, like saying, okay, like you plug in, like imagine you had a time machine, you plug in your birthday and the time, and that's where you land, right? So I feel like they're coordinates that your soul has plugged in the cosmic matrix to incarnate. And so it makes sense that you said highest self, because that's what we're here doing, is remembering, remembering what we chose.
Yeah.
That's deep. I like this. Um, I'm curious about the Mercury in Cancer. Do you,
Okay.
do you feel like this helped you connect in more with that energy?
Yes, I will read you some of my notes. Okay. I said, this is the way I process information. Since I'm Cancer in the ninth house, Sagittarius, I'm, caring, nurturing, intuitive, love, but then I can be very fiery, adventurous, free. So I've always struggled with this, with my communication, right? So I do move like deep and slow movements like water, but I'm mixed with the fire energy, which spreads quickly and passionately. So I can be very passionate with my communication, but then I could also hold my tongue, right?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So something that you want to keep in mind, and this is also for everybody else, is the way to understand like planet with sign and house placement, like how do you put the three together,
Yeah.
is so the planet is the part of your psyche, like how you show up, right? And Mercury happens to be the way that you process information, the way that you communicate, and the way that if you the way that you communicate, express, whether it's verbal or written or whatever. um okay, and then the sign is the energy. It's like the way you do it, it's like your vibe, right? But the house, yeah, it's not so much the way it influences energetically, but it's where this shows up for you.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So it shows up in what you're passionate about, which is what you're here to teach.
Yep.
So, that's just something to keep in mind. So, like when you do these, whether you do them again, always the house is what area of your life.
Because I did write this. I am intuitive, but I needed to trust myself. I can be very nurturing, loving, caring, but also say things too fast, judge quickly. I'm learning I need to slow down and trust myself and trust my words. And I think that's going to help me really step into, the highest version. And I love to learn, but I used to always question my intuition, right? So it's like finding this balance of like really leaning into trusting myself, but like, still being passionate and stuff, right? Like it's okay. It's like a
Yeah,
balance.
Cancer is emotional intelligence too. So,
Yeah.
um, Corey, were you surprised by anything? Did you get even deeper understanding for anything, or anything else that you want to share about this experience?
I just love the embodiment of it. You just I understand more things um, the past 2 years working with you. You know,
Oh,
um, with everything in my life. So this integrates it more. This brings it in more, and you're like, oh, that's because such and such, and now I understand this and that, and
mhm.
it's great. It's a great feeling.
Yay, awesome. Yeah, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no,
Were you gonna
no, that's it. I didn't say anything else.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think that it would be good to like redo them. Um, I'm gonna see if I can record them individually just as audios so that you can have like a little mini audio library of each of the planets whenever you're feeling like, again, whether you're not feel like you're not focused or thinking clearly, or you need to make a decision and you're not sure. Just like to really anchor in to your natural energy so that can support you. So are there any other questions? Anything that you might want to ask about your chart or anything? We have some time.
So I found that my Mars, like I thought Mercury was going to be the most difficult, like going into this, but then I'm like, this makes sense about my Mars. It's in Gemini, right? So very airy. And I could why I can sometimes be slow but fast, all or nothing. I can be excited, energetic, passionate when I'm doing things that I love, but very airy, ethereal, dreamy, overthinking. Okay. Too many ideas. So it's about learning to like really ground myself with my ideas and even execution of them. You know, that's what I've learned.
Yeah, and it's in that ninth house as well.
Yes, fiery with the passion and stuff. So when I'm passionate about something, I'll like go for it, or I'll, take charge, take action. But then I get stuck in my head or overthink. So it makes sense with the Gemini. I'm like, oh shit, this makes sense now. Like, are you kidding? So yeah.
Okay. Was there a question though, or no?
No, I'm just telling you what I've
Okay.
realized over it. And then my digestion was really bad for years because I had a lot of anxiety and fear with the overthinking, questioning myself, doubting myself. But been learning to slow down and trusting, and my digestion has improved, which is interesting to like reflect on that.
Yeah, because it's nervous system. The other thing that I'm seeing is that you have a Mars Moon opposition. So it's like taking actions can affects the way that you feel and vice versa a lot. They're opposing each
Sense.
other. Yeah. Um, it is it's a 4-degree separation between your moon and Mars. So yeah, I think it's just good to always connect in. Like if you're like, again, feeling stuck, like why isn't this flowing or moving, or like checking in with your placements and the energy that's there, and also what is actually happening currently, right? With even just basic like what sign is the moon in for the full moon, and what sign is the moon in for the new moon, and where does it land on your chart. It could be really supportive as well. Any other questions or comments? Okay. If there are none, I'm going to upload this in a moment. We're seeing each other next week for the webinar class. And I'll give you this reminder. For those that are going to watch this before June 11th is the Piece of Prosperity workshop. I highly recommend it. You as a member, you get it for free if you've done a testimonial for me, but you have to hand it in by this Friday. So if you want to come to that for free, then send me a testimonial of your experience here in the club. And the workshop is focusing on how to create financial stability through your emotional stability. So it's really looking at your moon placement, the second house, the money house. We're also going to look at the community house. And it's really about just creating a long-term plan for inner and external stability. So that's on June 11th, which I think is a Wednesday. I think it's a Wednesday. It's at 12 noon EST. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week.
You too. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.